14 years old.
I can't imagine. I know how bad it was when I was in high school. I can't imagine now with social media, the exposure of like, even TikTok.
Yes, TikTok was a whole trip, and it's crazy.
I'm going to segue the conversation a little bit because we started on that little tangent. And I really appreciate the fact that you want to talk about your teaching first, but it's so much more that you bring to the table as an individual. And I kind of want to highlight on just like your journey that brought you to where you are currently. Because I know when I met you, this was like 2010 and I needed my dreads retwisted. And this was back when everybody's just raw in college and just, I remember me sitting down in a chair and just telling you that my ambition was just to play football and try to help and provide for like my family. And it took me opening up and talking to individuals like you who didn't know me at all.
Wow, really?
Because, that helped me a lot. It helped me a lot with my strength because coming into Georgia Southern, the only person that I knew was my sister. That was one of the reasons that brought me there. So whenever I would come and meet somebody like yourself and we would talk because you're doing my hair, it helped me become more stronger and knowing that exactly because I mean exactly. I've seen your growth so much, and that's really why I wanted you to come here and talk because of the fact of like you're a very strong individual, and I just want you to really kind of like highlight a lot of your journeys and like the vision and the mindset that you had growing up early on and how that changes now. Because the thing is, especially like when you said you're dealing with the high school girls and stuff, their mindset is completely different than how their mindset is going to be 10 years from now.
Because mine was. I mean, but I feel like, I don't know, like I feel like I've always, before when I was younger, I had different ideas of who I thought I wanted to be, and it was like associated with like tangible things. But today, I am exactly the woman that I wanted to be.
Okay.
You know, and it's because of the journey, for sure. And it took a whole lot of patience and maturity and growth and a whole lot of self-reflection. And that shit is not, like, easy to do. Like, I call it the soul work.
Okay.
The soul work.
Okay.
But being exposed to the areas that need, you know, the fine-tuning is, like, the hardest part. And we got to separate, like, ego, because...
Yeah, ego and pride. It's hard. How you handle with your discipline, though?
Ooh, like I said, I'm still working for it. I've been praying like consistently for the past 3 years for discipline in specific areas, and not realizing that I had already, you know, had discipline. Like realizing that God has gifted me and equipped me with literally everything that I need to do what I feel like I'm called to do. But not knowing how to activate those things. So like we said off camera, you know, I've been praying for discipline in doing what I want to do for my dreams. All the while I worked on like transforming my body. Like I had to practice discipline with my eating because, you know, for health reasons I stopped eating, you know, meats. Which required major discipline because in college we was throwing down the Manny's wings. But, you know, discipline in my faith, like in carving out time to spend, like in meditation and like trying to be obedient and listen to God. All of those things took discipline for me, and I took it for granted, not realizing what was you know, getting me the results that I wanted. Oh wow! So with constantly creating content or creating and recreating like an opportunity for myself to do what it is that I want to do. Like that took discipline. The best piece of advice that I've gotten from somebody in the industry, from Mo Quick, was to constantly build the stage, recreate the stage, build your own stage. You know, and because I remember asking her, I'm like, Mo Quick, I just had a baby. I'm like on the other side of 25. I've been wanting to do media broadcasting literally since I was like 7 years old. Wow. I had opportunities in college. My peers that I was in class with, you know, that I did projects with in college are successful in their respective fields, you know, in broadcasting, and I missed the boat because I lacked the discipline and the focus and the mindset then. But I'm, you know, 20 something now, and I want to do that. Like, what do I do? I can't afford to take an internship when I got bills to pay because I'm a grown woman. You
got responsibilities now.
Right.
You got a whole human being.
And I quote unquote missed the time to get those skills and opportunities. And she was like, honestly, this is the day of social media. You know, you build the stage. Continue to rebuild your own stage. They'll come. Create the content. They'll come. I'm not even a big social media person. I'm a consumer. But I want to be a content creator. So you can't spend more time consuming than you create because then it messes with your creative process. And so it messed with my creative process. Like I would be constantly looking at everybody else, knowing exactly what I want to do, but looking at everybody else like, dang, I'm not going to be as good as this. I don't even have the equipment or the know-how to do that. You know, second guessing myself and not putting out the valuable content that I was creating. Like I had to like, you know, it took a discipline in just getting over that fear, posting and getting off of social media.
Do you feel like social media is the reason behind like why we're so much more depressed and becoming consumers, because we get caught up in the rhythm of swiping and browsing?
Absolutely. You ever get on social media to post something specifically for like Brunch Club, and then 45 minutes, an hour later, you're like, damn. I expect Twitter to get a different reaction. I'm looking at the damn analytics like, oh, I need to post it this time. I done missed the damn time window because I done met somebody under the comments in the shade room because I'm laughing at what she said.
What she said about that, they whole beef.
19 weeks ago. Because I liked her earrings in one post, and I was trying to see if she tagged it. It's a cycle.
Yep. But one of the biggest things I do want to kind of hit on what you said about when you was working out and like losing weight. I can really relate to that because I was the time that I tore my Achilles and I got up to 300 pounds.
Oh, wait, you were 300
I was 306 pounds.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it was just.
I was heavy too. I've been there.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, it took me looking at myself and like being dissatisfied and just asking God just to help me. Yeah. And even more than that, having faith in myself to change. And it's the crazy part about it. I'm hogging a hookah. The crazy part about it is just the fact of like, when you said you had discipline, but you just didn't know where you needed to put that discipline.
And God sends you angels to help you too.
He does, but you have to listen.
Yeah.
You have to listen. And sometimes you have to remove yourself from that environment that you're in because you're disciplining yourself in the wrong direction.
Oh, yeah.
And you're creating noise.
Oh, my gosh. This is like the devotional that I'm reading right now. Crazy.
This is real, though, because it's like we do a lot of stuff to create noise as a distraction to avoid what we really need to focus on. And that's what builds on our procrastination and us being basically depressed and losing confidence. And it's like confidence is solely fostered upon how people react or how you feel somebody reacts to what you're doing.
Right.
When it all starts with you.
Yeah. That procrastination is like a direct byproduct of like lack of confidence too.
Yep.
Because if I know I can do it and I have confidence in doing it, then what's stopping me from doing it right now? Knocking it out right now. That's the real thing.
Yep.
What you said about like the losing weight thing, you know, like, and being disciplined and knowing that God has sent it to you, or being obedient to listen to what He's saying. Like sometimes God sends people to help you too, and I honestly couldn't even like acknowledge this whole journey or process without people that have helped me through it. One of my closest friends, Coco, I met her in the gym, and she was my personal trainer. You know Coco, you met her before, and she's actually one of the founders of Boss Night In.
Okay. We got to hit on that too later.
Of course. She helped me, like believe in myself, like develop that discipline, those practices and stuff. And it was so much more than like working out. Okay. She's like my business bestie. I saw while she was training me, she was in the beginning stages of building her brand, And so while I'm working out, I'm peeping what she's doing too. And it wasn't like she was like telling me this is what you need to be doing, but you got to surround yourself with people.
With success and where you want to be. Surrounding yourself with the right individuals. Yeah. That's the biggest thing. And like, one thing I've learned a lot about myself, whenever you're going through your trials and tribulations, a lot of times you get into a moment where you kind of become like transparent to the wrong individuals. And whenever you're venting and going through a lot of hardships, the individuals that you vent to and talk and go through their advice that they give you kind of dictates how you view or how to approach the situation moving forward from that. Yeah. So I kind of want to steer this back towards like understanding like how to foster your own motivation and stuff like that as well, because that's really the theme of the show is Motivational Monday. So I kind of want to ask you an example of like in your long path of growing up and going through your trials and tribulations, how did you foster your own motivation to achieve and do stuff? Or just really figure out what you want? Because you said you wanted to be in media since 7 years old, but then you became a teacher first.
So before I became a teacher, I was doing... the journey to media is long and segmented. Okay. I wanted to be Whitney Houston.
Okay.
She was on crack. It's heartbreaking.
You can sing?
I had got this treble clef and bass clef tatted on myself in high school, or right after high school, I guess, because I have a strong love for music. I love instrumentalism and music and all that, but I'm not a musician. I don't but I be tearing it in the shop. But when I was younger, when we moved here, Monica Pearson, she's like the broadcasting person like on WSB TV. I used to sit in front of the TV, watch the news. I still watch the news twice a day. Okay. Because I had been trained from when I was a little girl, coming up now on WSB TV. I would sit in front of the TV.
Oprah.
Yes, and then there was Oprah. Oprah. Like, this is the whole Black Girl Magic squad before Black Girl Magic was a thing.
Facts.
Monica Kaufman, Jaquita Williams, Oprah, rest in peace, Amanda Davis. These are like media, women that I admired, black women,
Amen.
that were in front of that camera that were delivering the news. So I already knew by the time I made it to high school, we had like pathways in high school, like little majors and stuff. My pathway was journalism, so I was in the broadcasting class. I walked in my 11th grade or my senior year to the principal at the school because I had I had done enough credits.
Okay.
So I had like an extra period, and I would get to school early, and my principal would get to school late. So one day I took it upon myself to do the morning announcements, and I made myself real comfortable in her chair at the thing, and she was standing behind me because she walked in, turned around, and she was like, "Well, since you took the initiative,
okay,
you can do this." So high school, my senior year, I did the morning announcements throughout. I was like the entertainment host on Jag-8 TV, which was like the little broadcast.
That's like the TV show for the school?
Right.
Okay.
The school. So
you do like your morning announcements, everything
right,
on TV?
I did the morning, it was separate. I did the morning announcements, and then, during lunch, the little TV show would play. And
okay.
I was on the TV show. And, I was on the yearbook committee and the literary magazine. So in high school, I was like, okay, this is my journey. And I was like, I'm going to go to North Carolina A&T. Because at the time I had done my research. Terrence J. from BT, or from who's now an actor, he had graduated from A&T. Big Tigger graduated from A&T. Other black people in media in those roles that I admired had went to that school. So
okay.
I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go to that school. I had a plan. I did have a plan. Now I got distracted from the plan, but I think that this was really God's plan. Of course, I went to Georgia Southern because A&T wasn't doing the money thing.
Okay.
I majored in communications at Georgia Southern. I did get involved with media outlets at Georgia Southern.
Did you see that as a risk before you went to Georgia Southern? Because I know you said that wasn't on your scheduled list of colleges to go to.
Right.
So was it like more fear? You was like, well, I'm gonna just settle for this school.
You know what? To be honest, you getting into the soul work. I'm really doing some meditation on my past, and I realized that I have let fear cripple me.
Yeah.
I probably could have went to A&T. I mean, I got accepted. I probably could have figured out the money. You know what I'm saying? But I did go to the safe route, a place in state. Best decision of my life, because as y'all know, I call myself the black culture aficionado, and the experience at Georgia Southern is different.
Yeah.
From
so many different cultures, so many different people from different backgrounds, financial standings, and everything.
But this is the PWI. I grew up in DeKalb County, the most affluent community in the nation, for black folks. It was like a little mini HBCU, our culture. So coming to a place where I really never been around white folks aside from when they dipped in the 90s, and dealing with racism, that changed my entire outlook.
Wow.
And then learning more about the broadcasting industry and learning about media and how it's projected, and then figuring out okay, in order to get up and talk to people, you got to know the news and you have to talk about certain things. Georgia Southern and the things that we experienced at Georgia Southern, guided me into being concerned about black culture.
Okay.
And being impactful for my culture. And the first while I wanted still to do broadcasting, I wanted to make an impact in my community. And my community was Georgia Southern. So I got involved with the Multicultural Student Center, BSA.
Yep. I used to be in the union.
Yes, heavy in the union.
Flipping them tables.
Yes. Making sure the 41 was open for the meeting.
Yep. 2080 also. Rule 28, that's where all the fours was at. Yeah.
Right. But, so Georgia Southern experiences with racism and stuff like that. I got arrested at GSU for some racist stuff. But situations, I have plenty. I could write a book about some stuff that happened at Georgia Southern that I don't think that we realized that was happening while we were there, because we were just having fun.
Yeah.
But that changed my outlook as far as doing things for black culture. I still wanted to do media.
Okay.
I just felt the time that I spent at Georgia Southern, I wasn't necessarily fully focused on that, but it was still in my heart. And my heart grew bigger to the things that I am passionate about today.
Wow.
So,
and you just rearranged your discipline.
I rearranged discipline,
by each stage that you had. And the thing is that I noticed that you said a lot is your meditation that you have now. Is that one thing that you was practicing while you was in college, or is it was something that came along after your baby came into the place, and now it's I don't got nobody to talk to, but Jesus said, and Miss Sky, happy belated birthday to Miss Sky too as well.
Oh yes, my baby is 3. Dang, that's crazy.
But what brought upon that meditation? Because I feel like that's a very important thing that us in our age group should definitely practice a lot more of, is meditating.
Yeah, and use this time on lockdown to do that.
Yes.
Me getting pregnant and realizing that my life was about to change completely was a major wake up call.
Oh, sorry.
That was big. 2016, like I said, that was around here. That was crazy. I had transitioned like careers. So before I was teaching, I was actually not in the broadcasting field, but I was in like the media, external affairs.
Okay.
Marketing field in corporate America. That I had gotten laid off at the beginning of 2016, and then I started working as a server. It was different. I spent a lot of time. I wasn't working, like a traditional 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of free time, and I participated in with people that I probably shouldn't have been.
Yeah. Trials and tribulations.
But my life was just different, and I was not happy. And I spent a whole lot of time yelling at God because I had already had a faith system set up, but that was based on what somebody else kind of sort of had laid out for me.
Yeah.
And I had never really experienced really anything on my own as an adult. That year was the trying year. That year was the make or break year. I spent a whole lot of time, like I said, yelling at God, like disappointed, upset, frustrated, mad, questioning, like a whole lot. And by the time I was pregnant, like pregnancy is a whole different thing.
I can't imagine at all.
I know you can't. It's different. But you're bringing life into this world. Like a part of you has to die. People look at that negatively. My old self had to die.
Wow.
And it was a fight. And I had to fix some things about myself before I could bring a girl into this world. Because I'm supposed to teach her. I'm her earth angel. So there are some things that I needed to get right about myself
before she
I
comes.
pass it on to her. And I'm still working on that. But it took a whole lot of self-reflection. Being disappointed, not really disappointed, just unsatisfied. Unsatisfied with who I in those parts, who I was, who I was becoming, how I reacted to certain situations. My friends, my soulmates, helping me.
Amen. Yeah.
Holding me accountable, holding me.
And it's crazy that you're doing this while you're a mother and you're still achieving. That's the power. That's to me in its own. That's powerful because
the discussion party was born while I was pregnant.
Wow.
Hell yeah. That was a wake-up call because I really was like, dang, okay, I'm sitting here. I'm a substitute teacher. I'm working clerical work for DeKalb County. I'm a server at a bar, I'm about to have a baby. I'm secretly pregnant at this time. What am I going to tell my daughter? What about my dream? Literally, the conversations I had with myself was like, dang, what about your dreams? What about 16-year-old Brittany? This is 26. Granted, some of the things that I thought that I was going to be doing and having at 16 were just, 16-year-old's fantasies.
Facts,
But damn, who am I becoming? Not that I was on the track to becoming something bad. This is just the journey and the process, and I had to. This is the moment where it was like, all right, now, something's got to shake, and you have this legacy inside of you. You've been trying to impact community in the world. Your biggest impact is growing inside of you. What are you doing? What are you doing? And so. Discussion party was born, during that time where I was literally fighting myself.
Oh, wow.
The old version of myself versus who I was becoming.
Wow.
And that took off with great success, and that created the platform for me to get back into what it was that I wanted to do.
To media.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that brought you in 2017. I had the baby in 2017. Happy Hour podcast came in 2017.
It's like your daughter was a gift of discipline for you to restructure your focus the whole way.
Yes.
Still is, huh?
You know how expensive it is to have a baby?
I have no idea. I want kids eventually, but I want to be, I got to get taken care of first. I need some financial stability first.
When I had a baby and then I had to pay childcare every week.
Yeah, I know daycare is like $1,000, isn't it?
Yes, accurately. Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, wow.
And we haven't been in daycare for 2 months, so I'm just stacking it. But discipline, my child just put that motivation in me so that when she does ask, who knows what the future is going to hold? I have my own thoughts from what God has shown me and from how things are going. I'm confident, but who knows what can happen next? When my child asks me, whatever age she is, Mommy, what did you want to do? When you grew up? What was your dream? I'm either going to tell her I'm living it, I did it, or I gave it 150% my all.
Wow.
And that had to start in her infancy. And you've seen my child because everybody who knows me knows my baby be around.
Oh yeah.
While I'm working.
She's you.
And that part too. But yeah, that she was my motivation. Yeah. And things have literally just been moving
Wow. Well, this was good. I have to ask you 3 more things, though, because you're about to close and wrap it up. But if you could say anything to somebody coming up right now, like in your shoes, without, like, before you get to the point where you are, what would you say to them? Like, just some type of forecast and just try to instill some wisdom into them. What would you say, really? To a young Brittany.
Dang. Be intentional.
Okay.
Be intentional.
Can you elaborate a little bit more when you say be intentional?
Well, like I said, I've been wanting to do something in media since I was little. And not everybody knows what they want to do, you know, but be intentional in the choices and the decisions that you make and what you want to do. Like, be intentional, even if it's being intentional about figuring out your purpose. And to be intentional about figuring out your purpose, you got to consult with your creator. So how do you be intentional with that? Spend time. You
really got to spend time.
Yeah. You really have to spend time. And I really would say, like, never say never, and do not be like swayed by the journey or the time that it takes. Don't compare it to others, because everybody's journey is different. I think about, like, what choices I could have made. Like, what if I would have went to A&T? You know, like, I wonder, would I be where I am today? Or would I be, you know, somewhere else today?
Or even lost your passion for media by going to A&T.
Would I have lost my passion? Or would I have not been, you know, the self-proclaimed aficionado, like, in love with all things black culture? So just, what I say, be intentional. Never say never. And really just be ready for the journey. Okay. You can't really be ready for the journey, but just know it's a journey.
Yeah, because you're going to have to go through it no matter what. All right, well, this is the time where you get to plug whatever you like to plug in.
Okay, cool. Make sure you tune into Nightmare Radio exclusively on Direct Access Radio. Every Saturday from 6 to 8, we are live on the air. But if you miss the show, you can catch us on demand on your favorite streaming platform: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Anchor. And follow me on Instagram at Brittany Kristen, and the show at Nightmare Radio, and the station at Direct Access Radio. And just
thank you so much, Brittany. Give me a hug.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
This is awesome.
That was fun.
That was good. That was really good. That was good.
I don't ever think
girl.
For me.
Hey, that was good.
Really?
That was really good. That was really good. You powerful, man.
Wow.
You're powerful. You really are. You really are. You're powerful, Brittany. On some real, man.
It's not me.
You powerful, girl. Don't ever stop.